The U.S. president is planning to make several key staffing changes in the wake of midterm elections. Donald Trump said he has, quote, 3 or 4 or 5 positions that he is thinking about. The president did not rule out the possibility that his chief of staff, John Kelly, might be leaving. Trump is among the fastest U.S. presidents to fire his senior officials. Several of his key appointees, including National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, White House Chief of Staff Ryan Priebus, and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, had some of the shortest tenures in the history of their respective offices. To discuss this a little bit further, I'm going to bring in Mr. Jason Unruhe. He's a political commentator and an analyst who is, as you can see, joining us via Skype out of Ontario. Jason, it's good to have you with us. Tell me, a lot of people say that this is a tactic by Donald Trump to counter the growing power of the Democrats.
Oh, absolutely. This is a game of politics. It's always been politics and always will be. This is definitely about maintaining as much control over the U.S. government as he previously did, while not being able to be challenged by the Democrats. Obviously, this is a very different situation. Now the Democrats control the House, and this gives them the ability to do things that they were unable to do before. For example, they can have him removed from office. It would still have to be approved by the Senate, which is under Republican control, but it certainly demonstrates the power that the Democrats do have now. Now, within this situation where the power dynamic has changed, obviously this would require a reshuffling of individuals within the government. Those who are more loyal to Donald Trump would be moved into greater positions of power in order to shore up the political will of the Republican Party. Well, this is not to be unexpected. This is very much stock and trade for most political maneuverings in just about any country. But it definitely does show that the Trump administration is worried about the new power that the Democrats do have, that they are now going to be able to kibosh some of the initiatives that he is trying to put forward, or those he it doesn't take the effort to put through or legally cannot put through with an executive order. So I think that we're probably going to see an intensification of the hostilities between the Democrats and the Republican Party. Because in this situation, we're not just looking at political opposition, but a political opposition to the Republicans that are definitely going to seek the removal of Donald Trump from office completely. Because many of the policies that have been put through by Trump have been very, very radical, including anti-environmentalism, anti-worker rights, anti-protections for minorities in the country. And this has created a great deal of hostility towards not only Donald Trump, but the Republican Party and the U.S. government in general. So I definitely think that there is going to be an increase in hostilities between the two parties now that the Democrats have significantly more power than they did before.
Well, Jason, of course, if you're to consider the growing power of Democrats be the reason behind why President Trump wants to change the people around him, we have to also bear in mind that, even before midterm elections, he was making quite a few changes to positions around him. Your comment?
Well, I think definitely he did not get as much as he wanted to. He doesn't have as much power as he would like to. I'm sure he would probably like to have complete dictatorial control over the entire government, but that's not how a Western liberal democracy works. I think that there is a great deal of frustration on his part that he is being blocked by opposing political forces, not necessarily those in the Democratic Party, but maybe those who are a bit more level-headed in the Republican Party itself. There seem to be some more moderate voices that are expressing concern for the way things are. For example, once Jeff Sessions was removed and his Walker put in his place, I believe that there was a great frustration coming out of the White House that Walker would not simply interfere inside of the Robert Mueller investigation that has been going on for some time now. I believe that was the real reason why he was put into power and replaced Jeff Sessions. So it seems like this was another political move by Trump that did not work out in his favor the way that he had wanted it to. And I think that he's probably seeing these in a lot of other positions as well, which is no doubt growing a greater political frustration for Trump and some of the Republican Party.
Okay, and just one quick question, Jason. We're hearing that Chief of Staff John Kelly, might be leaving. Do you share that thought, or what are the other 3 or 4 positions that you can only guess might be among the ones that President Trump wants to change?
Well, I definitely think Kelly is probably going to be out the door. I think Trump is very quick to pull the trigger on getting rid of somebody as soon as they're inconvenient or won't simply bow to any position he holds. I think that of the previous example I gave of the Attorney General, possibly Walker could be removed as well,
Right.
because they'll undermines the whole point of Trump putting him into power to begin with. But I think that with Trump, I think it's a lot of it is all up in the air. I think some of it largely depends upon how he feels from day to day.
Thank you very much. That's Jason Unruhe, political commentator and analyst out of Ontario.